Hello everybody and welcome back. Our party are at this junction here and we have explored this small part of this large dungeon, and remember this is only level 1 of, well, how many levels? Right, so we can either go west or east, and when we look east we see a door in front of us and another small corridor going off this way. We see another corridor going southward when we look that way. So what we'll do is we'll listen at this door. And our thief hears 2 voices. Again, she's not good at languages, but she knows they're not human. In fact, they might be goblin, hobgoblin. She reports that back. Again, we have no idea whether this door is part of a corridor or, as in this case, a room. So we have to investigate every possibility. So let's go in our usual formation. They don't surprise us. Do we surprise them? We don't. What we see is a torture room. There's a rack. There's a forge with hot implements in it like pokers and things. There's an iron maiden here. And there are 4 cells for presumably prisoners. And 2 goblins are busy cleaning up. Well, what made the mess? Do they turn around and attack us? We get the hit on them. Right, let's roll for archery. Let's do Liz. She misses. Let's do Sylvia. She misses. And let's do our new thief, Retainer Cullen. He does get his +2 dex, +1 short range, but I'm subtracting all of that for the fact that our 2 frontliners are in the way. But still, he hits AC 4 and they have AC 6 and he kills one, and as he does it, he just looks over at Liz and gives her a cocky little wink. That's how you do it. Love. Liz just gives a short sigh. Donard, kills the other goblin. So, apart from that, there are no other people in the room. Thankfully, there are nobody being tortured on the rack. Malin goes over and he runs his fingers over implements. This situation he finds bizarre. Why do people think like this? Carrick notices him and says, "Son, you seem to take an interest in these things." And Malin just dismisses these bits of implements with a wave of his hand and says, well, not really. These aren't very good quality, which is a bizarre way to assess torture equipment. These 4 cells are locked, but we look through the bars and we see they're all empty. So we've cleared out this room and we go back to this junction here and we see a very long corridor which we walk along, and we get to this corner and it's good old wandering monster time. We don't find anything. We move along here and around this corridor and we see 2 doors. Well, Liz listens at one. She doesn't hear anything. Carrick tries the door handle and it's locked. He tries to give it a shoulder charge, and even though he gives it a good bash, it still doesn't budge. Let's see if our thief can pick the lock. And she gets a 13, indeed she does. Nice one. And she turns around and gives Cullen a cocky little wink, as in, just remember who you are. Right, and we find ourselves in a small chamber, and it's got 4 comfortable chairs around a small table. This is a real contrast to a torture chamber. The floor of this room is padded with several huge bearskins, and 4 soft chairs surround a low table. On the walls are niches for 2 dozen candles and a shelf holding 4 crystal goblets and 2 bottles of wine. Now this looks extremely civilized. I don't think we'll take the wine or the goblets. Whatever is in this place, it can't be good. There is a secret door here, but we have absolutely no motivation to look for it. So we'll go back outside and listen at this door. And again, Liz hears nothing. Carrick gives it another shoulder charge. He fails. He tries again. He fails again. Liz says, well, it might be locked. And again she throws an 11. Well, this is why we have a thief. And we enter into this room here. We're told, in this room, a polished circular table, a fur-lined bench. A fur-lined bench? Okay. A desk and a chair give the room a civilized look. An elaborate candelabra made out of silver and worth 50 gold pieces rests on the table. Well, Carrick can immediately spot that worth, and Liz, who always is watching Carrick's eyes whenever there's treasure, follows his eyes to this candelabra and realises, yep, I'm having that. On the desk is a miniature statue of the same god, whose likeness is found throughout the ruined monastery. This statuette has been carved from pumice, ardent lava. We're going to take the candelabra, and there are 2 drawers in this fur-lined desk. Okay. Liz is going to search for traps. On the top drawer, she doesn't find any. What does our new thief try to do? Colin says, I'll have a look. And he doesn't find any. He threw a 6, and he's sure there doesn't seem to be any, so we open that safely, and it wasn't trapped anyway. We find just some letters and quills and ink, the stuff of a bureaucrat. We'll try the second drawer, and Liz doesn't find anything. It was a 28. Let Colin have a look, and he doesn't find anything either. Okay, so Carrick opens that, and he's pranged by a poisoned needle, so he needs to make a saving throw versus poison. Now, there are pluses to this because it isn't a very strong poison. And oh yes, he just needs an 8 or more, and he's fine. There was a +3 bonus. He shrugs off that toxin. And in this drawer we find several gems, 7 gems worth 20 gold pieces each, and a rolled up parchment. Well, that's unfurled, and it has a cleric spell, Cure Light Wounds, on it. I'm really going to have to keep a better log of all the clerical parchments we've found, because we've found quite a few. This brings us to a dead end. This is not the living area of a goblinoid. There's a human here somewhere, or a demi-human, like an elf. This gives us a lot of food for thought, as in who really runs this place. Remember, we did come across a hobgoblin encampment, and try as we might to get information out of the leader, he would rather die. So yes, we're coming to the conclusion that there is somebody bigger than the hobgoblins in control of this place. So we turn to go. Has anybody sauntered along this corridor, wondering what the door bashes were for? No. So we make it all the way back to here, and we'll need another wandering monster check. Nope. And we're left with this big long corridor that has an opening there. Liz is going to try and hide in shadows and move along to have a look through. She fails to hide, but luckily nobody is really looking her way. This room has 9, 10 people in it. She can see 2, and they're looking that way. Was she silent? Oh yes, she moved silently. Remember, she's got a good pair of elven boots. Her move silently would be 35. It is 55. So yes, she doesn't draw the attention. These 2 hobgoblins. Now this room has a deep red glow about it, and several torches on the walls. She can report that back to everybody here. Okay, well, we know there are 2 hobgoblins. Let's take them on, and I'm going to set up this fight because the book has taken some pains to explain the layout of everything in this room. Back in a minute. Right, as you can see, rather a crowded looking scene here. We have 8 hobgoblins, marked E for enemy, 1 bugbear, and a dwarf in the corner. And this is our team here, R for retainer. Alright, Well, we know there are 2 hobgoblins here, and this room has a red glow. Heat will have spoiled the hobgoblins' infravision looking further north into the corridor. Now, Carrick knows the sign of a forge and a smithy when he sees it, and indeed, that is what this is. So we come in our usual formation. Right. And we see the bugbear is clearly the overseer, because he's shouting at the hobgoblins to, well, get forging. And the dwarf is being overseen by this hobgoblin. And the dwarf, he's wielding a hammer. He's manacled with a ball and chain. Now we're told that when the characters enter this room, all the enemies will stop what they're doing and attack. No need for any reaction rolls. We had a bit of a clue they were here. Did we get any surprise on them? And we didn't. So let's roll for initiative. And we get it. Good. The guys are here. Liz and Sylvia and Cullen have at least a decent line of sight. Well, Liz and Sylvia can see these 3. Cullen can see these 2. So I'll do him first, right? He has shot Donard in the back of the head before, but he's going to have a go at this distant hobgoblin. And he misses. Luckily he didn't kill anyone in our own party. Liz and Sylvia are going to go for these 2. Liz misses. Sylvia misses. Oh well, she has nice hair. That's our missile done. Donard on this hobgoblin misses, and Carrick hits and cleans it out. Good, because that one had the highest HP of 9. I like to see a nice 8 on the damage dice. I'm sure we all do. Right, so that's gone. Right, they're round. Now they rush in. And, okay, well, it's a bit of a fest for them. So the bugbear's going to hang back and order his men attack. This hobgoblin is caught between moving forward and looking after the dwarf. So we've got 3 hobgoblins on each of our 2 frontliners. We'll do the 3 on Carrick. That's 16, it's a miss. They have a THAC0 of 18, so they need a 17. They need a 19 to hit him. Second miss. Third miss. Right. They need an 18 or more to hit Donard. And that's 1 miss. 2 misses. And a hit. And not only is it a hit, but it's a hit for 6 HP. They don't seem to be able to hit ones, do they? 2 max dice. Round 2. Let's roll for initiative. And we get it. Right, this ain't looking good. We have a sleep spell. Is this where we use it? I'm gonna say no. It's a bit cheesy. I think to always use sleep. And also Malin really can't get in to see anything. He can't even use a dagger. Right, let's do our retainer again. Take out any of the ones in line of sight. Well, he misses. Right. Liz is going to go for the one that's on Carrick. And she misses. And Sylvia is going to go for the same. No, she's going to go for this one. Well, she hits and does 3 damage. It's from 8 to 5. Right. Donard is going to have a go at that one. Oh, God, and he misses. And Carrick is going to have a go at this one here. Yes, nice. And he kills that one easily, skewers it with a sword. Right, now our dwarf here isn't going to be completely idle. He has a go at attacking his captor here. So, and he has his forging hammer, and he also has +1 strength. Well, I'm going to roll that hit dice again. It's either a 17 or a 3. No, it's a miss. It's a shame. Right. Now there go. Okay, so we have 3 on Carrick, 2 on Donard, and the bugbear is going to try and move in. Let's do the 3 on Carrick. It's a miss. It's a miss. And that is also a miss. Then there's 2 on Donard. It's a miss. It's a miss. And the bugbear is just going to shoulder his way in and have a go on Donard. Now he has a THAC0 of 16, so he needs, well, 16 or more to hit him. And he does 1d8 plus 1 damage. And he misses. Right. And what about this little one here, who's going to try and take on the dwarf? Right, he misses. So it's round 3. And we get initiative again. Right. A retainer, have a go at this one. You still don't have a clear line of sight. He still hits AC 3 and does 3 damage on this one. It's down from 5 to 2. Sylvia on the same one misses. Liz on this one. Yep, and it's from 7 to 4. Donard's gonna go for this hobgoblin. And with all his bonuses, he hits and kills it. And Carrick, who's cleaving through these things like a dwarf possessed, finally manages to strike a helmet instead of finding flesh. Right, there go. Let's do the 3 Carrick. It's a miss. It's a miss. That's a miss. Let's do the one that's on Donard. It's a miss. Let's do this bugbear that's on our cleric. Okay, and that's 4 damage. He's down to 13. Right. And let's do the one that's on the dwarf in the corner. He misses again. Did I roll for this dwarf? I don't think I did. He gets another attack. And he misses. Right. Round 4. Oh, and it's their turn. So we're going to go through all that again. This one in the corner misses. The 3 on Carrick hits and does 4 damage. Our dwarf is down to 15. The second one misses badly. The third one misses. The one on Donard misses. The bugbear on Donard misses. Whew, look at that. He threw 8 damage. Well, he would have. Right, our go. Come on, archers. Our retainer. Colin misses. Sylvia has a go on that one. Misses. Liz, help out Carrick. Misses. Okay. Donard has a go on this bugbear. Sorry, on this hobgoblin. Misses. And Carrick has a go on any one of the 3 around him. And it doesn't matter which one, because he kills this one. Right. Round 5. Again, I don't think I rolled for him. I'll roll again. He misses. Right. Clearly he's exhausted. It's round 5. Let's roll for initiative. And we get it. Colin hits and takes out this one, even with all his penalties for no line of sight. Sylvia moves here. Liz moves there. Sylvia on the bugbear misses. Liz on this hobgoblin hits. and kills it. Donard on the bugbear hits AC 6, it has AC 5. Donard on this hobgoblin, and with all his bonuses, just hits. He hits AC 5, they have AC 6, kills that one. And this little dwarf in the corner, who's going at it, not just metaphorically hammer and tongs, but literally hammer and tongs. Yes, finally hits and kills his captor. It's the bugbear's turn. Now, does his morale hold up? No, doesn't. There's a door here. Is he going to run for this door? I'm going to say that's what he does. He runs for the door and enters into what is a small room here. So the bugbear is in this small room, and he run in and slam the door behind him. It's up to us to either lock him in there or shoulder charge him. What I'll do is I'll roll 2 dice, and is Carrick stronger than a bugbear? They're equal, and let's see if he manages to burst in. Not that first shoulder charge. What about the second one? No, they're perfectly matched. And the third one? Yes, after 3 charges, they manage to burst in and they find the bugbear, well, slightly thrown back into the middle of the room. Right, let's roll for initiative. And we get it. Good. There's only room really for 2 of our archers. Let's do Liz, who, despite all her bonuses, can't get a clear line of sight. What about Sylvia? And she loses 2 from that and still hits AC 5. That is enough. Right, so she does 3 damage. It's down from 16 to 13. Donard misses. Carrick misses. It's go. It swings on our dwarf and misses. Next round, I think we're on round 7, and it gets another swing on Carrick and misses badly. It's clearly perturbed. Right, our go. Liz misses. Sylvia misses. Donard misses. Carrick misses. Round 8. Don't like bugbears. And we get initiative. Okay, same thing again. 2 archers. Liz, okay, hits and does 5 damage. It's from 13 to 8. Sylvia. She gets her +1 for short range, -3 taken off everything. So that is essentially 18 minus 3 is 15. She hits AC 4. It's down from 8 to 5. Here's a chance for Donard to get revenge, which he fails to do. This creature has taken 10 hit points off him. And Carrick doesn't deliver the finishing blow. And neither does the bugbear. He's thrown 2 1s. He's lost it. Right. And here we are again. I think, is this round 9? And it has another swing. Yeah, it's become a bit frenetic. And it misses. Right, let's see if we can just melee this. And Donard can and does and kills it. Finally, let's look at the little room that we find ourselves in. And it's just a cell. The dwarf is a valuable person because he has good smithing skills, and so he was given a reasonably comfortable cell with a bed, a desk and a chair. Well, we turn to look at our new friend, and he sort of gravely nods. Carrick offers his hand, this dwarf takes it, and they clasp hands, and slap each other on the back and on the shoulder. And the dwarf says, I thank you for my freedom. And Carrick says, what's your name, brother? And the dwarf says, my name is Gareth Ironhand. And Carrick is stunned, and he says, Gareth Ironhand, not the Gareth Ironhand, the bard. And this dwarf Gareth goes, well, no, but Carrick says, you mean the one who sang the grey, grey rocks of home? That Gareth Ironhand. And this one goes, not quite, but Carrick is excited. Not the Gareth Ironhand that sang tie some goblin entrails round an old oak tree. And this Gareth goes, no, not that one, but Carrick says, not the Gareth Ironhand that sang the forger. And this Gareth says, the forger? And Carrick says, oh, you know the forger. You got to know when to heat it, know when to cool it, know when to strike it, know when to not. You must know the forger. And Gareth says, I do know it, but that's not me. I am not that Gareth Ironhand. And Carrick says, you're not? Oh, well, okay, you're still welcome to join us. We've picked up yet another retainer. He will equip himself with some of the stuff that the hobgoblins had, so he will have leather armour. We have a fancy shield, turns out to be a shield +1, and he will use his warhammer, that we are told is his weapon of choice. So, well, there's nothing much else in the forge. Everything that has been made has been taken away somewhere, and Gareth doesn't know where, and what is left is raw materials and ore. Well, that was one hell of a fight. We deserve a break after that, so let's stop here in this forge for a minute and get our breath. We're going to spend 1 hour resting and eating some midday meal. It is probably about midday. We woke up at 8 o'clock. Took us about 2 hours to get through the upper level to here. We've been here for about, well, over nearly 3 hours. And while we're eating our lunch, our new thief, Cullen, says to Liz, you're pretty handy with a bow and those lockpicks. And Liz just shrugs. Yeah, well, comes with experience. And Cullen says, that's some pretty fancy armour. Would it be magical by any chance? And Liz says, well, yeah, according to my brother there. She points to Malin. Yep, it seemed to have a magical aura. And Cullen nods and says, right, yeah, pretty nifty. It looks like you had it tailored for you. And Liz says, yeah, I did. We went to Loon after I got it and took it to Smithy, and they spent about a day tailoring it to me. It wasn't cheap, but you know. And Colin says, yep, and I think it fits you pretty well. And he gives Liz a little nod. Donard is trying to eat his lunch, but his teeth are grinding against themselves. And again, still, he doesn't really know why. In the time that it's taken us to clear out this area and eat, are we going to come across any wandering monsters? We don't. So we make our way to here, and we're faced with one very long corridor and one short corridor that goes around the corner. Do we go southwest or due south? 1 to 3 southwest, 4 to 6 due south, and we choose to go this way. And Colin says, do I not have a say in this? And Donard just says, no, you don't. Right. So we creep down here and we come to a door, and that's where we're going to begin next time. So until then, see you.